So this is the KhoodeelaarTVChannel television channel broadcasting on the internet at the broadcasting time is 16:50 GMT on Sunday the 7th of January 2024. The column in the Sunday Times today by Camilla Long contains a typically Camilla Long wonking narcissistic piece denouncing Camilla Batmanjalis, who has died in the last week. Camilla B was the founder of the kids company, and she has died aged 61. All the obituaries and items mentioned the fact that she was born in Iran and was carrying Belgian and British nationality, citizenship, and that she was involved in a litigation a couple of years ago, which ended with her being vindicated. The allegations against her were not proven. That was a High Court case. Now, in the narcissistic Wonka piece, Camilla Long name drops and issue drops as if to impress the reader of her intelligence. But Camilla Long is a Wonka, is a narcissistic Wonka who is not intelligent, who is not clever, and who has no dignity. And she has no empathy, and she has no compassion. The little piece that she has about Camilla B is absolutely disgracefully ignorant and has no substance whatsoever, either about the children that Camilla B saved and helped, or about the racism that she did. Camilla B was physically a dominant, remarkably visible person. So all the gear that she put on, in my view, was nothing to do with any attempt on her part to create an artificial image about herself, but actually to distract attention from the physical size of herself. And despite the fact that she was connected with the likes of David Cameron, Alan Yentob, etc., etc., Camilla Long, the Wonka, drops the words about the 42 million that the kids company got. But she doesn't actually explain the complete context of the billions of pounds that are stolen and looted and robbed by criminals connected with the status quo of the British Conservative Party, the British state. 11 billion pounds, at the latest count, has been wasted. In other words, stolen by the Conservatives and their donors under the pretext of the COVID-19. Now, 42 million pounds compared to 11 billion pounds stolen is nothing. That doesn't mean that I support any amount of public money being stolen, no matter how small the amount is. But the context is very important. If Camilla B had been Baroness Breasts and Bosom, Michelle Mone, who has confessed that she lied and she stands to gain millions of pounds by her lying, participation in the personal protection equipment fraud that she perpetrated by abusing the fact that she was a member of the House of Peers and that she got a direct connection with various UK government departments, cabinet ministers, etc., etc. And she cowed out these people, the so-called civil servants, and effectively forced them to give her hundreds of millions of pounds, despite the fact that she had no actual record of providing any such service until the COVID-19 bonanza was opened by Boris Johnson. And Rishi Sunak was the finance minister who was more than willing to hand over the money. So Camilla Long, in her piece against Camille, doesn't introduce any information, any substance, any morality, any ethics whatsoever, except that she has a dig at an Iranian woman, Iranian-born woman, which is what must have motivated her to insert that attack piece against Camilla B in the Sunday Times column today. The bigger piece in Camilla Long's one narcissistic column is, of course, about Jeffrey Epstein and Andrew Windsor. And that too is corrupt, absolutely corrupt. And I shall come to pick up the item and read a few words from it to illustrate the point that she is absolutely grotesquely, narcissistically Wonka. The heading says, Epstein and Andrew prove two things. Rich man do what they want. Women get punished. Well, if Gary Lineker is a rich man, then Camilla Long, the narcissistic wanker, offering her breasts for Gary Lineker to wank. And Gary Lineker rejected that. Proves that that is not the case. And here she is talking about breasts again. Her highlight in the piece, Camilla Long says, did scientists on a pink lilo discover that double Ds, that is the size of the breasts, accelerate at twice the speed of light? It seems that she has practical experience of breasts being used for wanking. As I said, she offered Gary Lineker her breasts, and Gary Lineker contemptibly rejected her offer, which makes him worthy of being commended, lauded. Camilla Long is obsessed with breasts. Why is she obsessed with breasts? And these documents give her a much longed for opportunity to go into details obsessively at length. Even when she kind of solidarizes with Ghislaine Maxwell, because Maxwell is the only one to be punished for the excesses of these men, powerful, wealthy men. She doesn't really directly credit Ghislaine Maxwell with anything positive, compassionate, moral, ethical at all. And she's puzzled. She's puzzled on behalf of Stephen Hawking, being featured as having attended an orgy, because Hawking was disabled and was able to speak or write without a synthesizer. And she's talking about the physics of it all. How did the synthesizer get applied to write all these complicated, wonking contents? And Camilla Long is indeed obsessed with breasts. And she's writing, just like Emily Maitlis, in sorrow about Andrew, the rapist, whom she doesn't believe is a rapist at all. Now, back to the issue of the post office and the ITV dramatization. Mr. Bates versus the post office. As I've said, 700 people were prosecuted, postmasters and postmistresses. 700 of them were prosecuted. How did that happen? How did 700 magistrates, district judges, find these innocent people guilty of theft? For all these crimes committed by the magistrates and the district judges, there is no need to add any extra explanation, but to just state the fact that there is the number, that hundreds of magistrates and district judges were committing crimes while they were actually, supposedly, sitting in court, analyzing other people's crimes. That means, once again, that baby angel Geronimo is vindicated. That the High Court judges, the stooges, Griffiths and Murray, were just two tips of the iceberg of corruption, criminality, illegality. That is the British judiciary. We shall be continuing in due course, again, of course, on the same theme. This is 16:58 hours GMT on Sunday, the 7th of January, 2024. The Bangladesh Nationalist Party, which I abbreviate to BNP, reportedly has condemned the election that took place on Sunday, the 7th of January 2024 in Bangladesh, as a sham. Well, if the election that has been held is a sham, then the boycotting of the election by the Bangladesh Nationalist Party is a double sham. Because for 15 years, the Bangladesh Nationalist Party has degenerated into the state where it is no longer really worthy of being described as a political party, although the mainstream media on this occasion are calling it the main opposition party. But it's not. It is neither opposition nor a party. It's an irrelevance. And the irrelevance has been confirmed time and again over the last 15 years by the sham behavior of the Bangladesh Nationalist Party, which has no ideology, no purpose, and nothing to fall back on in comparison with the emptiness, the sham that is fronted by the Sikh Hasina cabal. We shall be coming to this series of topics for due updates in due course, ending this particular edition, which is 26 minutes, at 17:01 hours GMT on Sunday, 7th of January 2024.